Disclaimer: the content of this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice for any medical condition they may have, and should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions. And now...
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ben and Amy on The Heavy Truth.
Hello.
Hi, welcome in.
Welcome back to another episode of The Heavy Truth.
Yes, welcome back.
I'm Amy.
And I'm Ben. Well, Dr. Ben now.
Dr. Ben, that that is something that we should all acknowledge here this time, this episode is
what?
Well, go ahead. Tell
I
everyone.
thought you were going to say, because you said is, and then you stopped.
Because it's your story to tell.
Oh, now it's my story to tell. Yes, well, thank you, Amy. My story is I completed my doctorate in nursing practice, which is one of the highest rungs of the nursing ladder, right?
Yeah.
Very
proud of you.
Thank you. Mid-December, I completed that and defended my thesis, and there we go. And now I'm Dr.
You
Ben Ramirez.
Which I've already said that, I won't be calling you that. So
We'll see how that goes.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not very proud of you. So I am very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm very proud of me too.
Yeah. You probably have now, well, it's only been a couple of weeks, but you're probably like, what am I going to do with my time? Right? Because your time was so consumed by school and everything, right? So
it was.
I guess you kind of went right into Christmas and everything. So it's been a little bit busy, but there is I remember, I'm sure you feel the same too, even like after finishing NP school, you're like, wow, I've got time now. I have time to do things.
Well, immediately after finishing, there was that weirdness of, it's the weekend, what should I be studying for school? Because it comes again on Monday, and then it was nothing.
Yes.
What's coming again on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's slowly gone away. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you know any plans on what you're going to do with that at this point? Nothing yet, right?
Do with the degree?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had my business cards changed for work. Eventually, I would like to teach, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be good.
Something in the leadership role, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, good.
Thank
good for you.
Thank you. Thank you. When are you planning on going back to school?
Not at this point.
Oh, I mean,
there always has to be someone smarter, someone with.
Well, I mean, that was before the doctor, but still there.
I didn't say that.
I did. Yeah. Producer Mike seemed like he agrees. Yep. Yeah. See, now he just smiled. But
he knows better not to say anymore. But no, not at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you for acknowledging it,
You're welcome.
And I appreciate all your support through the program, because there were times where you were like, just do it.
I know.
And I was like, I don't care anymore.
I'm done. I'm dropping out.
Because, type A personality, everything wants to be a certain way. And when it didn't become a certain way, it would upset me.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that kind of brings us to, I can say that you kind of sometimes lost motivation to continue doing what you were doing so well at. And that's what, we wanted to talk to you guys all about today, is that obesity is not a motivation problem.
No, and I think that's one of those myths we talked about in one of our previous episodes, right? Is that belief is that people are not motivated to lose weight, so that's why they're fat or overweight or obese or whatever word people use or set in,
They're lazy.
Lazy, that's the biggest thing, is that stigma of laziness. But motivation, I mean, it's key to losing weight, but it's not a reason that people gain weight, if that makes sense, right? You're not like, oh, I'm not motivated, so I'm just going to gain weight. No one ever says that.
Right. I mean, it's not a lack of willpower, because it is multifaceted, as far as genetics and environment and emotional health, which is a big one, socioeconomic factors. It all plays a role into the disease of obesity, and a lot of times that is what lack of motivation people feel as though that's what that is, but it's not that. It has to do with all those other factors,
Yeah, and I think we decided that this would be a good topic because now as we head into the new year, 2025, everyone starts their, New Year's resolutions, right? They want to lose weight, get in the bikini, the swimsuit for the summer's coming and all of that. So many people's resolution is to lose weight. And go on.
Go ahead. And I was just going to say, as far as the genetic part of it, again, that plays a huge role. Genetics and hormones, all of that those two things are huge as far as people being able to lose weight or having that motivation or lack thereof. I mean, I have, so many people that come in to see me, they just, one of the questions that is asked is, do you have a family history, of anyone else in your family having trouble with their weight? And I mean, over 50% of people come in, oh yeah, my mom or my dad or my grandma or whatever, so I mean, these people, they may have tried numerous times and failed losing weight because all they keep hearing is just move more, eat less. And we say that all the time, but it's
Correct.
so much more than that.
I also think it's that we as a society want everything now, right? We want the rewards now. We want to give out the ribbon for best participation. We want all of those things that if we don't get that, all of those awards, then we feel like we're a failure, right? Or if we're not seeing the numbers on the scale the way my sister, my brother, my aunt, the neighbor, someone down the street lost weight doing the same thing, that all becomes an issue, right? We get on the scale, it's not where we want it to be. And so that is a bump in the road for us, trying to lose weight, right? And then that just ties in with everything else you have going on, right? If you struggle more with genetics, if you have issues with hormones, if you have, other comorbidities that stop you from losing weight, or
what about food insecurity?
Food insecurities for sure.
Like that's huge because again, you can't, if you don't have available healthy food options, and I see that probably not as frequently as you may, in your population of patients, but I see it a lot. And it's something that really does upset me because I see these individuals are really trying to do better, but they can't because the food that's maybe offered to them at, food pantries or, or what they can afford at the store is just, it's too expensive, or what they're being offered, is just not the best.
Right. And in our one of our upcoming episodes, we're going to talk about more of the processed foods and things like that. But you're right. But again, I mean, I know you and I differ a little bit on that, where you just said about the processed foods and things like that. But I think we both agree that no foods are off limits, right? So we'll discuss that in another episode. But, there is motivation that is key to losing weight, because I know we do ask the people that come to our program, like, how motivated are you to lose weight? If you're coming in saying like, oh, I'm here because my doctor said I should, or I'm here because my wife thinks I should lose weight. There still has to be some motivation that makes you want to do it, right? Like when I was a smoker, yes, I was a naughty nurse and all that. I was a healthcare provider that smoked, right? By the way, largest group of alcoholics and things like that and people that smoke are healthcare providers. But it wasn't until I wanted to quit smoking, or I made that decision to quit smoking, that I quit smoking. Everybody and their mother could say quit smoking, right? But it's kind of like the same thing, right? Until you're ready and you want to make that decision. So there is a little bit of motivation behind losing weight. But I think one of the biggest things is you need to set realistic goals. Like we talked about, everything is not going to happen overnight. And it wasn't overnight that you put on the 25, 50, 100 pounds. So it's not going to go off overnight.
No, that's true. And, if somebody says, I start off strong and then I lose the motivation to continue, right? But then you can question, all right, you lose the motivation for that, but do you get up and go to work every day? Yes. Do you, go to the store to buy your food that you need for the week? Yes. So you're still doing certain things every day, and you have to be motivated to actually do those things. So you have to set your priorities, just like you said. You have to have priorities. You have to have goals. And, a lot of times people lose steam. It's because maybe it's become a little bit more challenging. It's a little harder for them, so I've lost that motivation to do that.
Yeah. And, I personally, I know weight loss is a struggle, all the amount of weight that I've lost. And I tell the people that I work with, is it going to be a struggle? Absolutely. To think that it's easy, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a journey, and it's going to be a lifetime. It's not going to be 6 months and I'm going to be there. Once you get there, how do you stay there, right? So it's always going to be a challenge, but how do you make it something that becomes a part of your life and not just a diet, right? So when I talk about setting goals, they have to be realistic, I think, specific and achievable goals. When I wrote my thesis, which was on in the field of obesity medicine, I had to write goals that were achievable goals that were realistic goals. And I think that's the biggest thing. You need to say things like, for example, I want to lose weight to be able to play with my children more. That's better than saying, I want to lose weight so I don't get tired while playing with my children, right? You're putting a goal of what you want to do, not showing that you're already tired, so you're trying to overcome something. So it's something that's more achievable, right? And I think breaking things down into smaller increments, right? We all have we see the patients and ourselves. We're saying, for myself, example, when I was 425, my goal weight was 220, right? But I didn't just focus on that 220 because I feel like if I just stayed focused on that 220, I would never get there. So it was, okay, I wanted to be below 400. Now I want to be below 380, now 350, blah, blah, blah. And I think taking those things in smaller bite-size processed bits makes it more achievable, because eventually that 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, in my case, became 205. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, because, obesity and overweight have, they're linked to over 400 genes. If you knew that, 400 genes. So again, lack of motivation, that's not the case. So we have to set these goals. Like you said, we have to understand that, I think the society has a lot of unrealistic expectations as far as weight loss programs and diets, and they focus on just things that are not sustainable. So when individuals come in to see me, and I know you and I, we practice very similarly, but it's their journey, it's not our journey. So we have to help guide them, and we're there to make sure that they're doing it in a safe way. And, I always say, this isn't Amy's fast weight loss program. I say it to everybody, because it's not. This isn't a diet, and we're not trying to get there like the quickest.
Right.
I want you to learn and to make this just a habitual, new change.
Yeah. I always say slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, when it comes to that, as far as the shame, or which again, a lot of people, and I'll even say me, I maybe felt I was shamed for years because I was, heavy, and people come in and see us and they feel the same way. And, I am very empathetic for them, because I had gone through a lot of the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's professionally or personally, people are like, oh, you just know you're getting that look, and you just get treated differently, so.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think the biggest, with motivation, the biggest thing is don't give up, right? There's always that everything's great. I'm doing great. I'm on track. oh, I went out with so-and-so and we ate all the margaritas, drank all the margaritas, ate all the chips, and then I ate cheesecake and oh, I felt so bad. So then I just let it all go and then I'll start again on Monday, right? It's just a bump in the road. That's what I tell them. Don't give up. One indulgence is not going to throw you off track. A week of indulgence is not going to throw you off track. The thing is that you continue to get right back up and keep it going because it's just a bump in the road, right? You can't let that derail your progress. That's what I always tell my patients. Yeah, okay, it was the holidays, right? Because in our practice, from Halloween through New Year's, that's the hardest time for people because you're trick-or-treating, the candy, the kids have the candy, you're eating, the treats at work, the holiday parties, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, every party under the sun, New Year's celebrations. Now it's January 1st and oh my God, we're going on the cruise in May. I need to lose 50 pounds. Oh my God, my daughter's getting married in June. I need to fit into this dress. Oh my God, I'm getting married. I need to fit into this dress. Whatever. That's just a bump in the road. Those parties are always going to be there. There's always going to be a birthday, a holiday, a Christmas, a something. That's what got me to 425. But knowing that it's a bump in the road and that every day is not a holiday, that's what keeps me at 220. Right?
Well, for sure. And also understanding.
And forgiving myself.
Yes. But also understanding there are environmental factors that come into play to cause these bumps in the road as well. So you have to make sure that, you are getting enough sleep. You have to make sure that if you are not, then you understand, well, the reason that I may be gaining weight is because, well, I'm not sleeping good. Maybe I have sleep apnea. Maybe then that's causing hormone problems, which is then causing you to gain weight.
Stress.
Absolutely. Yes, stress. There's so many factors involved.
Do you know how many M&Ms I ate, peanut M&Ms I ate writing that thesis?
Oh,
Amy.
Probably.
Oh my God.
Did you gain any weight during
your
last 6 months of school?
I did. Probably maybe 7 to 10 pounds. I've lost it since then. I'm back to the 220 that I was, but yeah, no, for sure. And was I upset? And I tell patients that all the time. They'll be like, oh, I say, oh, girl, last night I ate a family-sized bag of M&Ms. She's like, oh, well, no, I ate the family-sized bag of M&Ms. My family didn't get any of it. I ate it. And I got on the scale and there was a weight gain. Was I upset by it? No, because I finished that section of my paper and the M&Ms are really good. But I know that wasn't going to be an everyday thing, right? I was stress eating. And
which then I would say, is there something that you could have done differently that you didn't then binge on those M&Ms?
Yeah, I could have had the shareable bag and not the family size bag. No, I could have. Yeah. I could have gone to the gym, right? So that was another thing. I skipped the gym for probably my last semester because every day I had something that I was doing. I'd come home, I would do some work and then go right into something I had to do for school. And so I think it took a toll. So that's where I realized, so you said everything that I could do. Yeah, I could have gone to the gym. I could have taken the stress out something else. I could have changed instead of M&Ms. I don't know. I could have stress eaten carrots, but that wasn't happening. But, I could have made a different choice. I could have had trail mix. I could have had whatever. I could have just not had the M&Ms available. Yeah. Right? No one had to put the family-sized bag of M&Ms next to my computer in my office other than me.
Right. But you're acknowledging it.
Yes. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming M&M, Mars Corporation, nothing, unless they want to send me some. Thank you. Peanut, please. I'm acknowledging that. 100%.
Yeah. And then you move on. Like you don't get stuck there, continuing to go down that road or whatever.
No.
But, again.
And I tracked.
Right.
I even tracked the M&Ms.
Okay. So again, the accountability, making sure, then you have the support system, which you did. You had a lot of support around you, while you were in school. And again, that's.
I don't know if I would call some of those people support, but no, I'm kidding.
Mike was definitely supported you.
Yes, producer Mike definitely supported me. And I will send a shout out to my brother, who was also in the doctoral program with me. We graduated together. He was a very big support moving through the program.
Great job, Scott.
And my husband.
And Chris.
And you, Amy. Thank you. You were just like, stop bitching and do your shit. And I'd be like, oh yeah, sounds like, yeah. No, but you would send little gifts and little things and just check up and see how things are going.
Yeah, you just need little, like, you got this.
You didn't send me any M&Ms, but anyway.
Because I don't need you binge eating on them.
I think another big thing when we talked about weight loss and motivation and keeping things in set goals and increments, reward yourself for those increments, right? I saw on TikTok or one of those recently, a lady who her goal is to lose, I think she's like 300 pounds she wants to lose. And she has done things like she bought herself an Apple Watch and she gave it to her parents. And she said, do not give this to me until I lose my first 50 pounds. And then she got the Apple Watch and she's doing all of these things and she's blogging and tracking and she's still eating the things she enjoys and enjoying Christmas and not being down on herself for maybe gaining a pound or two at Christmas. But it's rewarding herself and knowing that the changes, and it is changes because it's not a diet, the changes that she makes will get her where she wants to be, not where she needs to be, where she wants to be.
No, I think that's good because it makes you, just continue to move forward. And, then that you have some sort of a, present or just like a positive thing at the end of that, wherever you set that goal to. Because again, you have to have those small goals because otherwise it's too overwhelming for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when we shift the focus away from motivation and just recognize the deeper multifactorial issues that are involved with obesity, we actually really can help foster more practical, compassionate, approaches to supporting people during this time frame. And again, that's what we're here for. We're here to support and to, debunk any negativity that someone may get from whoever else is in their life saying that they just have no willpower or they can't, where's their motivation or whatever. And we're just here to tell you that it's not just a motivation.
No, that's all, like you said, it's a multifactorial thing. Genetics, all kinds of different things play a role in weight gain, weight loss, all of that, right? You could be doing what people will think everything right. You're tracking, you're eating, you're exercising, you're doing all of these things, not knowing, not realizing you are on a medication that is a weight-inducing medication, or you have a hormone imbalance of some sort, PCOS, all of these things that are fighting directly against your body losing weight, right?
Like a post-trauma, which a lot of obesity comes from that as well. So if you don't have your mental health in check, a lot of that is part of it too. So there's just so much, and we just want you all to know that.
And we play that role as obesity medicine specialists. I have patients that will cry all the time and they always apologize. And I kind of joke with them. I'm like, oh, this is not a new box of Kleenex. It won't be the last box of Kleenex. You're not the first. You're not the last.
Yes.
Don't be embarrassed by it.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it gets heavy sometimes, right?
Yeah,
no pun intended either, right?
No,
I mean, it really
right.
does. And I feel bad. And I do like to make it lighthearted as well because, they're here, they're coming for help. So that's what we're here for. And
I always tell them this when they talk about motivation. Your first step was asking your primary care provider for a referral to see me. You making that decision rather than someone telling you to do it, that tells me you're ready to make the changes that you want to make.
Right. So, with that being said, we're here for any questions. We're here to support and find your own support system. Find people, surround yourself with that are, in your corner and that want to cheer you on, because you are going to have those haters and you're going to have, the individuals that are going to be jealous. And
you are going to have that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're within your own family, right?
Yes.
Sometimes. And that's the hard part is to realize that who will support you and who doesn't, but be okay with the people that don't and just don't take it to heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, society beats us up enough for being overweight. Stop beating ourselves up about being overweight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
So I have a question. You said that we could come with questions. I have a question.
Yeah.
So do you have a New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution since we're heading into the new year? Oh my God. Mike, she's quiet. She doesn't have any words.
It's a good question. You know, I'm going to be honest. I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I try to work on myself all the time. So I don't wait just for a time of the year to do better at things.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to say something, I think it would just be more consistency with exercise.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a big thing.
Meaning starting exercise or continuing what you're currently doing?
I exercise. I need to add variety to my exercise routine. And, I do tell...
Like no longer doing sweating to the oldies, Richard Simmons kind of things.
Oh, come on. Like jazzercise and stuff. That's
jazzercise.
fun.
What's that other one? Skippercise or something? That lady that like skips I saw that. That's
I did see that.
Kind of wackadoodle. Yeah. Sorry. And if you're listening, still think it's wackadoodle.
And I in regards to like not fitness, it would be more healthier options as far as like meal prepping and planning. I feel like we eat pretty healthy here, but just being a little bit better about planning things out.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. I think planning is one that I would think of as well.
What about you?
I as well. I don't really think of, I wrote New Year's resolution. I told Chris, my husband, well, now that I'm not in school anymore, and of course he was like, "You're done with school." I'm like, well, we'll see. I want to learn Spanish. I'm being half Hispanic, and I know some broken Spanish and enough to get by, but not conversationally. No, that's not the word. I think I want to be more serious about learning Spanish than I have been in the past.
It's a fun goal.
Should we tell Duolingo if they want to sponsor you? You could do it.
Yes, please. Duolingo, or what's the other one? Babbel. Those are both good. I did have a 1-year subscription to Babbel as a birthday gift from my husband a few years back, and that lapsed after I did some of it because I forgot, and then I started school. Rosetta Stone, feel free. I'd be more than happy to learn Spanish and discuss obesity medicine in Spanish. So if any of you three want to sponsor us, or me, or us, Amy would learn it as well. Then we can go to the Mexican restaurants together, and she can order chips and guac in Spanish.
Because you
Why
can
not?
eat that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
She'll say tortilla instead of tortilla. So.
All right. Well, I think that is a wrap for motivation or obesity and how it's not a motivational issue on The Heavy Truth.
On The Heavy Truth. Have a happy and safe New Year, and we'll see you. Well, we won't see you, but you'll hear us in 2025.
And you can listen to us on all of the social medias. Podcasts, anywhere you listen to your podcast.
Watch it. Look for us on Facebook.
Producer Mike,
where are we?
We're on all of them, everything, all the streaming platforms. Find us there.
All right. Well, there you have it. Find us there.
That's right. All right. Until next time, I'm Amy.
And I'm Dr. Ben.